I first started in burlesque because I was going through a divorce. I was already a performing artist. I had done like acting, singing, dancing, had done some independent films and some commercial work and some theater work, and I really loved it. But I hadn't really tapped into the erotic part of myself that I really was interested in, because I was at the time in a religious cult that didn't allow you to really express your sexuality and things like that. Once I divorced myself from the cult and also my husband at the time, because I thought that in order to be a wife I couldn't do those things, I was free to be more parts of myself. One of my best friends was like, I feel like you should try burlesque with me. And I was like, shit, why not? I love performing. I love bodies. I've just never had an opportunity to go express myself in that way, because I really, really deep down wanted to be a stripper, and I couldn't because my religion always kept me from it. Like, I always wanted to. I would go and I would like literally park in the parking lot of Deja Vu, like I'm going to audition tonight, and then be like, no, I can't, because I'm not gonna be allowed. It's gonna be a problem. I started burlesque because I was excited to perform, because I love to perform, and I was excited to perform in a way that allowed me to express other parts of myself that I felt like were held back by the person that I was previously. Once I did it, and I was around, you know, a pioneer in Black burlesque here in Seattle, Dr. Ginger Snaps, and I mean, that person is just, she's incredible. She's incredible. She's also where I get my passion for education, because she is brilliant and she knows so much about so many things. So shout out to you, Dr. Snaps. And I loved it. I fell in love. And I fell in love with the people that I met. I fell in love with the spaces I was in. And the only thing I saw missing was people who looked like me. I was missing my family. I was missing my friends. I was missing my community. Yeah, so I was like, I need to bring my people into this thing that I love. Like, we need to know that this is a space that we can be in, this is a space that we can occupy, and this is a space that we originated in the first place. Yeah, it became my mission to do that, to create more opportunities for Black folks, but especially Black femmes, to come into space and feel liberated and feel celebrated and to be paid. It was such a life changer, because I got introduced to other people in other communities that felt very much like home, but I just didn't know them yet, right? So I got introduced to polyamory, I got introduced to kink, all these things that were very much I was interested in and had heard about a little bit and read about a little bit, but tried not to read too much because I didn't want to take my mind off the Lord. Yeah, I got to be around all these other people who had decided to live their lives very freely, and that's what I wanted to do. And I thought, oh my God, more Black femmes need to know that this is a possibility for our lives, that we ain't gotta be nobody's nothing that we don't wanna be. We can just be who we wanna be for ourselves, and the people that we want to be ourselves with will come along. I'm proud to say that I've brought so many Black and brown people into a sex positive space, into the sex industry, whether it be performing, dancing, providing services, whatever it is. I have been able to bring a lot of Black people into sexual liberation. And so my mission is accomplished. I don't have any more goals as far as that particular thing is concerned. I'm doing what I set out to do. With my mission to stimulate, educate, and liberate, what is easier than stripping as far as stimulation is concerned, right? Like, if I want to stimulate people, start taking off my clothes and people are stimulated. That is what happens, because my body is banging, my aura is on fleek, like, period. Like, look at me. If I start doing anything, but especially if I scratch my toe, people are like, what's happening? You know, right? So I was like, for me, it was the easiest route because of the light that I possess to take as far as stimulating people. I know that no one listens to you until you actually pique their interest. And so the next thing that I say, people are hanging on to every word because I've already captured their attention. I think that a lot of our liberation movements miss that piece, and I didn't want to miss that boat. There's too many people that need to know too many things for us to keep acting like we can hide behind respectability politics and get our people to get on board. That's not how that's gonna work. Motherfuckers is already tired, people are already tired, people have already been through too much. Make it fun or I'm not coming. I've been able to get people to sign up for voting. I've gotten people to sign up for testing. I've gotten people to, or at least get education about it. Even if they don't want to do it, they have more education about it, right? I've gotten people connected with resources. all through Sugar Shack, all through my productions, all through my burlesque. I bring so many different types of people together, and then they're able to build from there. Now, you know, Sugar Shack even has a marketplace in the back. I have all black vendors and brown vendors and queer vendors coming and selling their things and showing people, hey, you can be a black entrepreneur, right? It's like a black business within a black business within a black business. That's always my goal. Is like, how can I bring more people in to create more for our community? People look at it from the outside, it's like, oh, it's just some people in there stripping. But no, there's people in here actually making a living. And all of that came from me just being willing to say, hey, I got something you want to hear. I got something you want to see, you know? By the way, go ahead and look at this pamphlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last time you've been tested? Well, let's talk about that, right? It's like, people are going to listen when you give them something to listen to, when you give them something to look at and then listen to. So that is why it is this particular vehicle right now. It gives me access to a large group of people very quickly, and it allows for my message to not fall on ears that wouldn't be willing to hear, right? It gives me a chance to let my messages fall on ears that are a little bit more soft, because they're like, they've already been massaged, right, by the booty. I was afraid to even wear like shorts before. And like I used to wear like tank tops underneath my t-shirts to make sure like I didn't have any cleavage showing. And like I used to try to cover up my body so much because I was taught that who I was and how I looked and how I present was too provocative, and it made people uncomfortable, and it was causing people to sin and like all these things. So for me to take up my space and be like, nah, this is wonderful. This actually brings people into sacredness, into holiness, into God. Right? Like, that's a completely different mindset. So I'm happy to be here.